it's Brian with GreyWolf Towers again. So today's video is going to be an unboxing of this case. It is a massive box. I'm assuming that the case inside is massive as well. We will go ahead and unbox and take a look at the case and see all of its features. I'm probably going to leave it outside of the box though once we get it unboxed, because we will be building in it either today or next weekend. My son and I are going to build his computer in it. This is supposed to be an amazing case, top of the line. It is one of the more expensive models. This is not the original touch from from Hyte for the Y70. This is not the original version, which was 4K. This is the quote-unquote 2K version, essentially 1440p on a touch screen, which is still great. He's going to love it, I think, but it is not the original model, and I just wanted you all to know that. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. It is a rather large box, so I may go in and out of frame a little bit as I get it out of the box, and we will take a look and see what all it has. So it is, of course, taped shut because it was shipped. So now, all right, let's take a look. Ooh. Okay, it's not wrapped the way I thought. I had thought that this would be wrapped with like foam around it, you know, around the screen and stuff like that. It is not. So I'm going to be as gentle as I can taking this out. I'm going to have to take it off here where it's going to go out of frame for a second. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Whew. All right. Now, I have never bought a Hyte case other than the Y70, and that one I never opened. I didn't do an unboxing. I sold it right away to a client, and so I never specifically opened it. I only saw it after it was used in a build. Does have similar patterns to this one. This one's basically, looks wise, a bigger version of the Y60, which was a beautiful case. We do have instructions here, which I'm not going to fully disassemble this like I normally do, just because I am going to go through the book, because this is an outrageously expensive case. Final cost to me after our tax was like 420 bucks, so it was a very expensive case. I am going to take my time with this build with my son. We're going to put it together properly and carefully. But you've got the power supply in, I guess you could call it a basement, but it's a side instead of a downstairs. It is in the lower section, but it mounts to the rear on the left side. These fish tank cases are generally dual chamber is what they are called. And so the left chamber, when you're looking at the rear, is the side that has the solid panel as opposed to the glass panel. This chamber here is going to be where all the cable management goes. It does have, from the looks of it, let's see if you can get a view here, 2 hard drive ports for 3.5-inch disk drives if you want to put some heavier storage in it. If I wanted to, I could turn this into like our home server, for example, and I could run our 26 terabyte and our 8 terabyte hard drives in there to run those. I may toss like I think I've got a 2 or 3 terabyte drive sitting around. I may toss that in there just to fill space, but probably not. It does have the power supply down here, which is held up, and then you plug everything in. You've got your I/O. I think you can see my hand through the glass. So you've got your I/O area for the motherboard. You've got your I/O for like all your additional add-ins like video cards and stuff like that. Now, I am going to be honest, These regular slots are actually only half slots. So when you plug stuff in, if you want full-size cards beyond just a GPU, they do have to be vertical and fit among the 4 slots. So you only have 4 slots, and you'll have to have riser cables and things like that for those. This one comes with the riser for the graphics card, and so that's what we'll put in here. And the model that I'm giving him, I believe, is 3 slots, but it could only be 2. So it'll leave a little bit of space if he wants to do stuff. But we're going to pop that in, and it'll be visible, which will be nice. Sorry, I had to edit out the part about the graphics card because his specific graphics card has no RGB. It won't show anything beyond the card, but the card will look really nice in this case because it'll showcase the card. That'll be really nice because it'll actually show the card itself off, as opposed to just the little RGB that may or may not be on it. And that one specifically has no RGB. So in some cards, they only have like the logo, that when the card's sitting this way, you can see the logo RGB. When it's sitting this way, you don't see the RGB, and the fans don't necessarily have any. On this GPU, the fans have no RGB, the top has no RGB, so sitting it this way just shows the fans, which actually will hopefully show it off a little nicer, make it look a little better. So what I can see in the back here through the power supply hole is that it does have the cables for different things. The screen, I questioned in a previous video that I filmed earlier today, I questioned whether the monitor was going to go through the USB 2 ports or not. It does not. It goes through, it looks like a display port on the back here. So that is interesting. My guess is that runs to here, and then you would plug a display port cable that's like 6 inches. Hopefully it's in here somewhere, but I'm guessing that we have to supply that. But like, you'd use a 6-inch display port cable to go from the video card that's going to sit vertically to that card that's going to sit behind it. See if hopefully you can see that. But down here it's the one port here that's already included, and then the video card's going to sit this way, and so you just run it that little bit. If it ends up not having the cable in here, I will try and note that down below here on screen. But if it happens to not have that, I do have a spare DisplayPort cable that I can run. It'll just be a full-size one, which means that it'll have to go from here down the back of his desk, then back up into the graphics card, or have to be wrapped up and tied so that it's not massive. Now, I'm not dismantling this case right now on this unboxing, just because, like I said, I want to make sure I read the directions. It's not like a simple pop. I'm going to have to read the directions to figure some of this out. And it's normal, it's commonplace to do that with a new case. I've never used a Y70, so I'm not familiar with the ins and outs of it. But I can tell you the looks of it are amazing. I do specifically like that it has the openings up at the top that will be able to do like power cables and things like that for the power to the CPU. It'll come through without having to like reach in and mangle your hand and everything. It's going to have lots of space between there and the motherboard, which may or may not end up looking nice depending on fans and things like that. But when we first set this up, we are going to have the 3 RGB fans back here on the side with the AIO, and we will be probably putting the AIO over there. It's got plenty of room for it. And then we've got 6 Corsair LL120 fans. They are black, so they're not going to match the case right away, that we're going to toss in as well. We're going to put the 3 up here. So as we go through this and we set it up, there may be the ability to screw through these little vent slots as opposed to the regular channels that they have. But we may end up just leaving these empty and put, because it looks like the majority of it is set up to not use a rear fan. So we'll probably put 3 up top going out. I believe you're able to lift somewhere in here to put 3 down here. And so that'll be the 6 fans blowing this way. And then there'll be the 3 fans on the AIO that'll be really visible. And honestly, I doubt he'll need a rear fan because the fans there will blow this way to blow out. The GPU is going to blow out. The CPU is going to have the cooler that's not going to really apply because it's not an air cooler, it's an AIO, so that's not going to be doing anything directly here. It's going to be doing it all over there. And then the fans up top are going to blow basically from the bottom up into the case and then the top out of the case. So overall, I think it'll be fun. This I'm not going to take off until, again, we go to set it up, but it's a touch screen. It's like 15 inches, like 14 and a half, something like that, tall, and 2 or 3 inches across. It is touchscreen. They call it 2K, but it's something like 2560, which is 1440p's width normally. So it's 2560 by like 520 or something like that. I mean, I'll try and write that down here to display what the actual resolution is, but it's essentially it's 1440p on a half screen or a quarter screen or whatever that is. But it's touch, which will be nice, so he can do things on it. It does show on the back here that it's USB-C, probably for power, and then it looks like, yep, MDP, which is mini display port. So it's a mini display port over to the display port over here. And like I said, we'll check and see if it has the cable. It doesn't list in the instructions that I saw. Motherboard and SSD screws, hard drive screws, power supply screws, standoff socket, PC headset adapter. So that's going to be for the audio input on the front. DisplayPort male to male cable. So it should have a cable for that. So yeah, let's go. That's awesome. So it should actually have that, and we shouldn't need to display that where we thought we would. But overall, it's going to be an interesting case, and I can't wait to finish it. And I will try to include a picture of it with the build in it, either later that we do later today or next weekend, for everybody to see it built. Like I said, though, the fans will be being replaced. They're not going to be the correct ones, so it won't look 100%. But you'll at least see how it was done, and I'll try and do a build video showing it being built, and that way you can see how it goes as far as how hard it is and things like that to build in it. I'm going to say I'm assuming it's pretty easy to build in this though. So anyway, hope that this video helps you see what it looks like, and so that you can see whether or not it's something that you want to buy. I definitely think it looks amazing. I would have no problem with it as my case, with the exception of the width. It's a little too wide for where I want it to go. But aside from that, it's an amazing looking case, has great features, and it's just awesome looking. It is a bit pricey though, so keep that in mind. With that aside, I hope this video helped you decide if this is the right case for you. If it did, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in this general area here to keep up to date on our new videos and our community section. And then as always, if you have any questions about myself, the product, or the channel, make sure you leave those down below in the comment section. So thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Bye for now.